hello out there! This is Wake Angel 2001, and I bought a funny thing. It is, this, which, according to the included instruction sheet, is the, 6002-4 Black Mamba from Robot Force. There's almost no black in her color scheme, and she turns into a Velociraptor and not a Mamba, but whatever. I also love the fact that she is a deformation instead of a transformer. I mean, like that would be like if they called the transformer a transforming, you know? Like, they could have at least called them the deformators, or whatever. Yeah, so this is basically a knockoff, upscaled version of Slash from the, was it Titan's Return, or, Power of the Primes? It was one of those. It was either Titan's Return or Power of the Primes. It's an upscaled version of Slash. So the instruction sheet is pretty basic. It has her ability values, and then the rest of it is just pretty straightforward instructions. I do like how they do a slightly better job of showing how all the parts are supposed to move than the Machine Robo figure I bought before. But basically, it's Slash, you know? We all like Slash, right? She was a pretty good scout. Yeah, she was a good scout-sized figure. She has ball-jointed hips, a thigh swivel, good solid 90-degree knees, a little bit of foot movement, nice huge ball joints in the shoulders, a bicep swivel, 90-degree elbow, nothing in the wrist, and her head swivels. So she's got plenty of really nice articulation, and the figure is well balanced enough that she does have some good posability. Yeah, she's very posable, she's very articulated, and she is very cool looking. Plus, this adorable shade of pink is just the bee's knees. I just kind of love the fact that it's like someone said, hey, the new Velociraptor dinosaur is a girl? Well then, let's just RC her up as much as we can, huh? For size comparison, Black Mamba is significantly larger than the mold that she is knocking off, but she is still significantly shorter than a deluxe. So that's where she sits. I guess like one of those gimmick figures that they make for the cartoon toy lines. That's probably a good place to put her. For accessories, Black Mamba comes with a gun, which, it's a pretty standard gun. I think it's based off of the mold from the Blur figure, but I'm not sure. No, that's definitely not Blur's gun. It's someone else's gun, but it's a gun. And she has a really cool sword made out of translucent plastic. That's always a welcome thing for a Dinobot to come with. And a pair of combiner hands. Yes, this little girl comes with a pair of combiner hands. There is a little bit of mold flashing on the hands, but they're still pretty darn solid. Like the ball joints for the thumbs are really good, but they don't feel like they're going to twist the plastic off like some other third-party figures I've messed around with. And the fingers articulate just fine. So you have a nice solid pair of hands. And they do have that little hole in the thumb so you can put accessories in there. And they are significantly larger than the hands that come with the regular Combiner Wars / Power of the Primes figures. Significantly. And yes, they still have the thing where you can, you can take this thingy out. Yep. You know that thing, except now it's not made out of translucent plastic. Just like the Power of the Primes figures, she can hold that little thing that comes out of the hand as a little gun, and it does have that little three barrel thing going on, and it actually looks pretty cool in black. Like, they looked weird when they were made out of translucent plastic, but like this, it actually looks like something that could plausibly be a weapon. Her other gun fits in her hand just fine. It feels like it's a little bit loose, but it's not super loose. Like see, I can hold it out like this, and it's at least not flopping over. But like the other way around doesn't do it. Her sword is the opposite. It feels like it was machined just a micron or so too big, and it feels like it's stretching her fingers out a little bit when I put it in there. So the sword's a little bit tight. The big gun's a little bit loose. The smaller guns fit just fine. So So yes, he can effectively wield all of her accessories just fine is what I'm getting at. Fortunately, the mold does not really lose anything to the upscaling. There isn't really too much on this that would look unattractive, like something that was hidden by the fact that it was small, and then scaling it up made it look ugly. Aside from the fact that, maybe her Velociraptor arms are just kind of hanging out there on the back, and I feel like maybe one more step to fold them up into the rest of the backpack would have been nice, but it's not so unappealing that it's disgusting, especially when you have her arms down their sides. That covers it effectively enough, so it's okay. So yes, the upscaling doesn't really hurt the figure too badly. The figure's transformation works just fine. All the plastic tolerances are quite excellent. In fact, I think they might be slightly better than the original Slash figure, because now her shoulder joints aren't made out of transparent plastic. And we all know how we're always afraid that transparent plastic doesn't hold up very well, especially when used to make joints. The interior still has the same molding for a Titan Master chair, but I don't think you would be able to put I don't think they have any upscale Titan Masters to put in there, is what I'm trying to get at. So I don't know what you're going to do with this. But fortunately, you can just cover it. Her back plate is a solid pink plastic, just like the rest of her. There is no translucent plastic in there anymore. The mouth can open, and it can open. Whoop. Okay, that's one thing. The head is a little bit loose. It's you might accidentally pull it off, but it's not like anything in there will break. It's just, I think the internal head pegs are just not quite long enough. But yeah, they pops off, but it pops right back on. Just be careful not to overstrain that joint. You gotta remember to tilt the head up a little bit so that the lower jaw has clearance to move without popping the head off of its joint. Arms swivel up and down, just like always. They are not too tight and not too loose. And the ball-jointed shoulders are now ball-jointed hips, affording a wide range of movement. The figure still has knees. And if you undo the transformation, you do get a little bit of forward ankle movement, but not backwards ankle movement. They could have put a hinge in the hand, but I don't know how that would have worked. So, yep, all the articulation and posability for the Raptor is just fine, although this is where the one flaw of the upscaling comes in, as the hole in the gut is now even more obvious than it was when the figure was a smaller scout-sized thing. For the sake of completion, here's a nice side-by-side comparison with the original Slash figure. Gotta say, I do really love the whole G1 Dinobot color scheme with the semi-translucent gold head, and there is a metal pin going through the jaw there to make sure that the head does not come off. That is the one physical improvement that this has. Well, one physical superior, because this came after. Although the benefit is that since there is no metal pin going through there, you don't have a metal pin breaking up her sculpt. But yeah, aside, like I said, aside from this hole now being physically larger because the figure itself is physically larger, the build quality is just fine. So it does not suffer from the fact that it's a knockoff. So yeah, you got like a Utah Raptor as opposed to a Velociraptor, or there were actually a lot of Raptor type dinosaurs. So we all think Velociraptor, but the fact of the matter is that there were at least half a dozen species that had this basic body frame. So there's nothing, the Velociraptor was actually one of the smaller and less impressive members of that genus, but they have a cool sounding name, Velociraptor. I guess because it sounds like velocity, makes it sound like they were really fast. I'm just doing stuff now. So the only thing left to say is that I found Black Mamba from a seller on eBay. She was very reasonably priced at only $10, and the shipping was only 99 cents. So that was pretty cool too. I would recommend buying her. But here's a funny thing about the set. Of course, she comes from a whole series of upscaled Dinobots, and you can even make an upscaled combiner with everything. That's why she comes with the combiner hands. But here's a funny thing. You could buy the complete set of 6 for roundabouts $85, Or you could buy just the 5 that combine in for 75. But no, I'm sorry, I'm messing it up. If you bought all 6 of the robots individually, they'd be $85. You can buy all 6 of them in a pack for $75. But you can get only the 5 that combine for like 64 or so, which I find weird because that means the difference between getting all 6 and getting just 5 of them is about $11 and change. She costs less than $10, at least on her sticker price. So that means it would actually be cheaper to buy her separately and then get the other 5 as a bundle than it would to buy all 6 as one bundle. I mean, only cheaper by about $1 or so, but still, someone screwed up the math. So let's actually cut to some pictures of the figures that I didn't buy, just in case anyone would be interested in seeing the set. And let me know if you would really like me to do the set, because, I don't know, maybe if there's enough financial incentive in it for me, I might actually do it. So here is the upscaled Dinobot team in all of its Power Rangers-esque glory. Although the picture is somewhat misleading, these are clearly prototype images that have a bit more of a complex color scheme. As you can see, Black Mamba here actually has some white parts that the actual toy does not have. Although they do show what the combined form would look like, and as a bonus, the eBay seller actually put on a little fan mode showing how you could incorporate the slash mold into the combiner should you like to get all 6 and have her be part of it. Although I do think that this could actually improve, because one of the big problems that the Dinobot combiner had was that it looked unusually thin for how broad its shoulders were, and usually sticking 2 of the extra hands into the gap underneath them helped widen it out a bit, but this could actually help a little bit more, just in case you want to go ahead and fan mode it. So that's basically all I have to say about the Dinobot combiner team. It's basically just a more colorful, upscaled version of what we got before. But hey, it's actually cheaper by quite a bit than the original set, and it's bigger, which for Dinobots is always a plus, right? So yeah, if this floats your boat, go ahead.